It's not a flat desk, eh?
For now, everyone, thank you for joining us for this squad announcement press conference with Rhian Wilkinson ahead of Cymru's international fixtures this month and next month. Who would like to kick us off? Sure.
Rhian, final camp of what's been a roller coaster year. Just how do you reflect on this 2025 as a whole?
I think you probably summarized it. It has been one of the greatest highs, obviously the Euro campaign, but equally when you're in League A, when you're at the Euros, when I'm trying to always play the best opposition, it's tough. And so I'm looking forward to more opportunities to play against top teams, to challenge ourselves, to get ourselves ready for next year and what will be important games coming up.
Looking at the squad, a couple of new faces. I want to start off with the Plymouth duo, Poole and Francis. Two former Albania Premier players as well, which really shows how well the league's grown over the last few years. So just the two parts for what do they bring to this squad, also what to say about the Albania Premier and where it can take players in their career.
Well, I want to be really clear about the Adran Premier. I think it is such an important piece of the footballing landscape in Wales. I'm a huge supporter of it. I think to have a country where women can play to the highest possible level is really important. I come from Canada. We've only just got one this past year. It's not yet the feeder league to the national team, but that's just one piece of a puzzle. But what is great is that young players or players with potential are coming through that league and then moving on to the next stage where they can be invited to the national team. So they both earned it. And looking forward to having them come in as training players and to show me what they can give.
Another new name, Laura Hughes from Melbourne City, another example of FAWs are widening that net, finding these players with our Welsh heritage. So what can you tell us about her?
Yeah, really exciting player. I think her ancestry is Gwent, but she's telling me that her grandfather lives in Porthcawl and that she spent many holidays here. We've had our eye on her for a little while, had some good communication. I think she's a midfielder who can really bring a bit of bite. I think she's got some great vision on the ball as well. So looking forward to integrating her and giving her this opportunity to show what she can give us.
I want to ask about both Manchester United players as well. Firstly, Saf, it's always quite difficult when you're behind someone like Frontera, who is one of the best keepers in the world. But with the injury she's had, Saf has really stepped up in those Champions League games. It did us on Saturday against Manchester City. Should play again tonight. But just what have you made of her in that starting role? Because she seems to, Vivian seems to, but I'm guessing you know she can really perform at that short time.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a challenging situation with Wales with our goalkeepers, both strong players who I think both should be challenging for starting roles, and that often comes through injury, unfortunately. So she's got her opportunity. We saw her, with a fantastic win against PSG, and then challenging times in the WSL, which is what it means to be a starting keeper. Is you've got to be able to ride the waves of the challenge and show up again and deliver to the highest possible standards. So I look forward to her getting another opportunity to show what we already know here in Wales, that she's a top keeper.
And then on Marriage, she's always on the bench for Manchester United. So still only thinks that one appearance in the FA Cup she has for them. I know a lot of fans are clamouring for her to play, and I know you've said there's a good chunk of your squad who aren't getting regular game time you want, but on that, because of the promise she has, how frustrating is it to see her not getting a chance in that senior environment at club level, because we can see what she does at national team level?
Well, I know that I come at this with a bias, like Mark has a roster that he's got to manage, and he's got his challenges. So for me, as the Welsh manager, I'm always going to advocate for my players, and I want them all playing. Marit is a senior team member now, fully. I think you'll have noticed that some of the 19s that joined us last window are with the 19s for their qualifiers. But Marit is fully a senior member. That's where I think she deserves to be. It's where her standard is. And I hope if she can continue to deliver for Wales that she'll get her opportunities at Menu.
Well, Val, for me, this window you've got Switzerland and a yet to be named opponent. It's been a tough year, still, despite the kind of opposition, every team wants to win, of course. So what are you looking for, apart from the victory, what are you looking for in these final two games to round out the year?
Yeah, so I purposely have made our schedule very difficult, and I know that, and it is a balance. I think you've said it really well. Like we're playing at the highest level we want to win. There's something about our confidence as well that we've got to keep high going into next year's qualifiers. So we have 2 more challenging games. What do I want to see? The Poland game for me has been the most frustrating because I felt it doesn't matter who we put on the field. There's a performance level that I just expect now, and I didn't think we hit that. And that's what frustrated me. So there's results, of course, we want to be winning, but there is a baseline of our standards now that I expect no matter who we play. And I just thought we kept dipping below that. We were giving the ball away too easily. So I love that we've got 2 more opportunities to work on us, to work on Wales. And I've talked about it from the beginning that consistency of our performances is what we need to be looking at. We know we're bringing through a really young generation. We need to push through now into the senior team, and that is what they need to be delivering to this standard every single time, no matter who they play. And I do think the next 2 opposition will be really great challenges for that, and will be a nice way to end the year with 2 strong performances. Yeah.
Hi, Rhian. Yeah, just following on from that, really.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of an increase in narrative about the fact that you haven't won a game since the game in Dublin.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the players are feeling that pressure? It's becoming a bit of a heavy weight on their shoulders?
No, I don't. I mean, you need to ask them. From my side, everyone likes to win. We've been clear from the start that this is a really important time for us to make sure that we push and we learn and we are challenging ourselves against top opposition. We could have made a different schedule. We had friendly games these last 4. I could have made different decisions, but as a team, they're part of that communication, which is, what do we want to do with this window? We want to make sure we're challenging the team and looking at a bigger net, a bigger pool of players, while playing some of the best teams in the world. And that's when we get challenging results, which is what we have had. But I don't feel like the team is in a negative space. I don't feel like this has been a down year. In fact, it was our first time representing Wales at a major tournament. I think that was a huge high. And equally, I think performances like we had against Australia, those are the ones that we look on and be like, well, we'll be better for this tough run of results.
You did touch on it as well. About the Poland game, you were very critical of the team after the match. Now that you've had a bit of time to watch it back and reflect, what were the specific details that you weren't happy with that you want to work on in this game?
Yeah, I think just to be clear, I don't like to say critical of the team. I think I was critical of every piece of it, the staff, myself. We've all looked at ourselves. So how can we deliver a game where I felt like Australia, we showed a lot of who we are, and then a few days later just not be able to do the same thing? And it's like a coaching mantra, consistency. And what does it mean? Okay, well then the staff, we didn't prepare them right. Where did we miss something? Where they didn't feel like they could play with the identity that I've asked them to play with. Yes, I had new faces out there. Yes, I had players who needed to prove something to me. But I've also said no excuses. It doesn't matter who I put on the pitch. This is my expectation. I thought we gave up the ball much too easily. I thought we rushed things, like we were very one-dimensional. And that is, we also, I think, had moments where I thought we played better than my initial reaction. So we've reviewed it a lot. And I think it was an important game for the players because I was annoyed. They don't see me annoyed that often. But equally for the staff, I don't think we were at our best either.
Finally, I know you were at the game last night. Obviously, Harry Wilson. I think it was the first time to step up into that void that we haven't seen since Gareth Bale was retired, where a captain, a hat-trick. You're going into this new cycle now without Jess. You've brought in some young players. Do you see potential in some of these young players now where they kind of fill that void eventually, or Jess is left behind?
I think I always I have frustration with the word potential, right? Because it's unachieved, it's ability. And I think I've tried to be really clear, like Jess became Jess because of the decision she made, and where she traveled to and the uncomfortable position she put herself in to push her own standards. I think there's an opportunity now for the players to look at themselves and their career and make decisions about where they want to go and how they want to push themselves. And I absolutely think there'll be young players now that are going to step in and really drive their standards and levels. But I don't think there'll ever be another Jess Fishlock. Uniquely Jess Fishlock, just like Gareth Bale was uniquely Gareth Bale. And Harry Wilson is a top player in his own right. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing that next generation step forward. And I don't know who it will be yet.
Great,
Thank you.
Hi, Rhian. Sorry, at the back.
All right.
Can you hear me all right? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Lovely. I just wanted to follow up on Laura Hughes.
Mhm.
So I can see she's had a cap for Australia,
Mm.
friendly, so not committed yet. Obviously, these two next games are going to be friendlies as well. Are you seeing this as a bit of a trial for yourselves and for Laura, or is this a commitment from her to Laura?
She's made a commitment. I gave her the option to come in and just meet the team and be a training player, and she said, nope, I want to play for Wales. So the paperwork is being done, and it is, from my side, always a trial because you don't just walk onto the national team. But she has had that message, she's clear on it, and she made the decision to fully commit to Wales no matter what.
And what does that say about what you're doing here? You know, how great is that to hear that the player is willing to come over here and commit?
I think we've talked about broadening the net and bringing pathway players in and just making sure we're seeing everyone. At the same time, we can't lose that this is Wales, and to play for this country and to wear this badge is the privilege of a lifetime. And no matter where a player might have been born, if they don't feel that, then they won't be part of this team. And her making that commitment from the start with no guarantees that she will make the team, I think goes a long way to demonstrate who she is, but also how important she feels being Welsh is to the group. So I like that messaging. I think it was brave of her, courageous, but equally, I think that's what we need on this team.
And just from the last squad last month, I think you mentioned a few of those youngsters might be helping out the under-19s. They've got a lot of important games coming up. Some of the others, perhaps not in this squad, have just reasons for it, but I'm not sure if they're injured or not. Alice Griffiths, Rose Joel, kind of filthy.
Yeah, mixtures of injuries, but equally, this is a time now where the team shouldn't name itself, and we've got an exciting group. So there's selection decisions, but equally some injury challenges as well.
I think we've asked you a few times about game time with your players at clubs. Has that situation improved at all since last time we spoke?
For some, it's one of these. It could improve somewhere, and we lose time somewhere else. So it's not going to be a quick fix, and I know that, and I think the players know that. So game time is not going to be a decider of minutes with Wales. I've also been explicit about that, but it is my job to make sure that we mention it, we challenge it, and that they're always pushing in their environment to get on the pitch. But equally, if it's not working, then we've got to help support them to move on to the next challenge.
And how much of that time, how much of your time does that take up, perhaps trying to make sure that outside of these windows that all your players are getting as much time as possible?
That's probably my job. Like the camps are the camps, you prepare for them, but supporting the players, making sure they feel seen, trying to be who they need in that moment. They all have different challenges. Same for the staff, right? The equal number of staff that all have things going on in their lives. I think that is the role of the manager, and it's probably my favorite part, because that's the part I enjoy, is making sure that the players are feeling as connected to their country when they're not here as when they are, and that is my job.
And just on last night, I think I heard it was maybe your first time seeing a men's game. Are you a good luck charm for Wales?
Not my first time. No. I was in the best seat I've ever had, though, so I was front and center. So I don't know if that's a good luck charm. Then I'm going to upgrade my seat. No, not my first time, but fantastic win. And I've had it done quite a few events with Craig the last little while. He's been a wonderful support of the women's program. And equally, I'm a huge fan of his and the men's program, so I was glad to be there.
And I think perhaps last night for him was the combination of a few results that perhaps didn't go his way, a tough couple of results, kind of seeing that performance and what it can do when it clicks. Does that kind of affirm something in you in what you're trying to build with your side as well?
I haven't really thought to compare, but what I will say is I think Craig tries really hard to be that consistent person for the team, and you see him working through that. And I love that the storylines of Craig before he got this job and what he's been doing. The results are one thing, but how he consistently shows up and his messaging and how they train. I think results like that just prove that he's a top coach with a top staff, and looking forward to the draw. I think tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Diolch.
If there's no other questions, we'll leave it
No?
in. Well,
You don't want any in Welsh? No?
sure.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
One day, we'll get it.
Renowned the Welsh school. That's what they all asked this morning for the appearance. What do you know in Welsh?